Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the chat. This is post our WCQ Nationals back at the Roundhouse. That was over the weekend. First little note, we do have to say, with recent events that we would like to state that contrary to belief, that we have much love for penguins. We do appreciate, so noot on that one. So welcome to the chat. Within chat this afternoon, we have Adam, we have Martin, we have Dan, and we have Rye. All of which of us were at Nationals, as we said. Main purpose of this is to discuss what we saw in Nationals, what we felt, what we had. Everyone will have their own little points, and we'll see how this goes. So, guys, I've got a few questions for you. I'd like to start off with Dan, if possible.
Yeah, go for it.
So, Dan, what did you play at Nationals?
I was playing Monarch's Rupture Draco.
Okay.
So no extra deck, just being able to play the triple copies of Erupt gives me 4 skill drains. The theory behind the deck was there, but it just didn't quite perform as well as I would have liked to have done.
Okay, did you think that was because people were prepared, or was that a...
I feel like it was slight backlash from people playing against Orcust and Mystic Mine and other back row decks, just because of the popularity that Mystic Mine gained. Draco took a backlash to that because of the amount of side deck cards and main deck choices that people were playing. It then affected Draco as well, being a back row heavy deck. And I'm really bad at rolling dice, apparently. I think I won like 2 dice rolls the entire weekend, and it really hurt not being able to go first.
Okay, so you weren't able to make up your board and then just kind of sit behind the floodgate, so to say.
Because obviously the thought of the deck previously, like, it was to go first, set up the board, prevent my opponent from playing, and then eventually just hit them in the face with a bunch of monsters till they lost enough life points.
Okay.
The deck could go second, theoretically, by using the trap card to tear apart the board, but no, it just didn't work out quite well.
Okay. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was your first Nationals venture.
Yes, that was my first time in Nats.
How did you find it? Did you enjoy yourself?
The overall experience was good. I will admit I was getting a bit frustrated the first 2 rounds because I lost them consecutively. But the weekend as a whole, it was enjoyable, especially the people that were there as well.
Okay. So what was the highlight of the weekend for you?
I mean, there were a lot of highlights to the day, like being able to see all the more well-known Yu-Gi-Oh players that I haven't actually seen in real life, that I've just seen them on YouTube videos and on stream and stuff. So that was quite cool to see. I did my Sky Striker match round 2 was actually against this guy that I'd watched some Madolce videos about, and it was just really funny just to meet him and sort of he was getting more excited than I was, the fact that I recognized him from his videos, which was quite entertaining.
Wow. Okay. So you saw.
I sort of made his day as much as he made mine as well.
Fantastic.
But just overall, just the whole experience was just fantastic.
Nice. I hate to ask, with highs come lows. Any on your side?
Yeah, there were a lot of lows, considering I was X4 by the end of day 1, and then on Sunday I ended up dropping after round 9. I didn't bother with round 10 because I was then X6 or something. Yeah, I just did terribly.
Okay, so wasn't great to start off with, but you generally had fun.
Yeah, the whole weekend itself was good. It was really nice going with the guys as well. First sort of adventure as a team, with all of us actually being there, bar John. But yeah, the weekend as a whole, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Good. Okay. So this as we've covered already, this was your first Nationals venture. What's your best advice to those going forward into events like this in the future? What did you find was something that kind of took you back and made you think?
What do you mean in terms of the the player base or like the deck that you're gonna take, or
Or like, was there something that do you wish that you tested more? Do you wish that you kind of
um, don't make last minute changes. That
okay?
is something,
Yeah.
because at the very last minute I did change from playing instead of playing Artifact Lancer in my side deck, I was then playing Chaos Hunter,
Mm-hmm.
and I never sided it in the entire weekend,
Okay.
especially like even against the matchups that I kind of needed it. I was like, I think I started it once, I saw it once, and it just did nothing for me.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So like, if like definitely test beforehand.
Yeah.
That's like a major thing that needs to be done.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So just for a bit of show off, I've asked this of everyone to kind of prepare. Did you have a 200 IQ play at the weekend?
Um, Honestly, not really.
Okay.
That like playing the deck that I was, there isn't many like combos you can pull off as such.
Hmm.
That it's just very basic plays that just get the job done and do what they need to.
Okay. Fair. Fair. Um, would you do it again? Would you go and play in nationals again?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like it's definitely something I would do again.
You
It's
say he
an
was working.
experience that needs to be had.
Why?
There's just if nothing else, just going away for the weekend with the lads as well. It's just a good time to get away from everything, have a bit of fun, enjoy yourself.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of preparation went into all six of us actually going out there.
Yes,
Um,
like obviously getting the accommodation ready, the transport, getting everyone together.
hmm hmm
Yes, obviously there were a few hiccups with that, but that's nothing that any of us could control was going to happen.
That's it. That's it. And actually, everything worked out quite well in the end. The apartment we had
Yeah,
was fantastic. Yeah, and it allowed for us somewhere to stay, to sleep, to eat, drink, and bring our game. I
and just
guess.
chill out at the end of the day as well.
Yeah, yeah. We're still waiting on the results of the Smash tournament. I don't know, but we'll find out about that. Okay, Dan, have you got anything else to add? And if not, I'll move on to the next.
Nothing. No, no, I think I'm good. Just it was just recap. Just like it was a good weekend. I enjoyed myself. I wouldn't have changed how I did anything. I feel like I tried to do the best I could. It just dice rolling just isn't my specialty.
Okay, okay. So note taken. Don't get you involved in D&D then. Nat ones all across the
Yes,
way.
no, no, no.
Okay.
No, don't take me D&D. I will get you nat ones into a burning dragon corpse.
Okay. Marvelous. Right. Okay. So that was Dan. People. He was our true Draco player from the weekend. We will now move across to Rye, who was the new one to the group for the weekend. Rye, how you doing this evening?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
Marvelous.
complaints really.
Okay. Good. Good. So again, was this your first nationals?
Indeed, it was. Yeah.
Okay. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was overall good experience. I think. I mean, most of us have done sort of regionals before and stuff like that.
Mhm.
It's basically just regionals times 3.
Yeah.
You know, fiercely underprepared for the event, but quite happy with how it went.
Yeah, fair enough. And so the question is, what did you play?
So I played Orcust with the Striker engine.
Okay, yeah.
Like I
And
feel like the deck did well. I mean, a lot of people playing the Trickstar engine. I chose not to play it.
okay,
It just didn't seem to come up too well in testing. I mean, Light Stage is a very good card, but I wanted to try and keep the deck down as low as possible.
sure, okay,
So I ended up playing a 44 card deck in the end.
okay, right, fair. Okay, so
Yeah, the wires from my phone.
what's going on? Okay, that's so
That's
my
just Martin dealing with his poker tournament.
that's fair. So my next question is the highlight of the weekend for you.
It's probably like True Draco is a notoriously bad matchup for Orcust.
Right.
And I think some of my highlight might have been hard drawing Monster Reborn to out his border because I'm not a big fan of that card. I think that's the highlight of my weekend, maybe.
Okay.
I guess maybe the Smash tournament we had in the evening as well. That was pretty chill.
Yeah. And I've heard stories, and I don't know if they're true, but the low point of your weekend.
My low point.
Yeah.
Well, I think was probably choking day 2. I went I went OX. I lost all 3 games in a row, and yeah, it wasn't good. I was burnt by round 7, day 1. I didn't get enough sleep. Again, under preparation, so killed me off there.
Right. Okay. So nothing about someone DD crowing you 3 times.
Oh, okay. So I play against an Hourglass player. Let me just double check. Round 9.
Okay.
And obviously there was no stacking here because my tournament standards, I shuffled, cut his deck, fine. And so, game 2, I got first. I lost dice roll. So, I go and try and do everything, and then crow after crow, and I just kind of picked up the cards there and went, yeah, good game, man.
Yeah. Okay. So
There's nothing you can do under that.
no. So very much luck of the draw on your opponent's side then.
Yeah, I mean, he had like the double 7s if this was a slot machine. Triple 7, sorry.
Triple 7s. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So overall impression of the event? How
I loved it. It was quite nice, open. Lighting was fine. There was food, like cold food and hot food, which I really liked because in some places they don't have that. So if you were hungry, we all were all weekend.
Adam wouldn't stop eating, but
Yeah, you could just go up and get a burger, or whatever.
Yeah. Fair.
It was,
Okay.
good quality of life.
Yeah. So I've asked this before with the others. I want to know what your 200 IQ play of the weekend was.
200 IQ. I don't think I really had one. I just played Orcust to a good standard, I guess.
Yeah.
Not as much as I like to because I was X2 by day 1. I wanted to keep that, but I think maybe just my minus 200 IQ play is in the mirror. I had the Crackdown, stole the Galatea, and then won from there. But that's not really big brain.
So you actually stole their Galateas?
Yeah.
Did you ding with them?
Just the one. Pardon?
Did you ding with it?
Yeah, of course. Game 2, played that, and
I like that. I like
the
that.
mirror. You've got to do it, man.
Yeah. So covered a lot already. Best advice going into an event for new players?
Be prepared at least 2 weeks beforehand and not decide the same week that you're going to Nats to do your deck list. That is key.
Okay.
Make sure that you sleep well and are prepared for pre-reg in the event. I was not prepared with my side deck. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the card journey took a lot longer than I thought. So I went with from memory what I thought would be good. Turns out I have a lot of options for striker, and I just outing mine. So I think just good preparation, good sleep. Make sure you sort of eat well, get enough in you so you're not sort of lagging, and try to avoid burning yourself out. Don't test too hard for the event. Sort of the night before, just make sure you're comfortable and play what you're comfortable with ultimately.
Yeah. So I've said this before, and I've heard others saying it. That half the battle when you're actually playing an event like this is against yourself.
Definitely, and in a 600 person event, I think nerves can really get to you, and that's when I noticed, especially myself, game 1 of the event, I was making stupid misplays, and I was like, well, what am I doing? And then by game 2, 3, I'd settled down, found my rhythm, and then back on. You just want to try and avoid that. At the end of the day, it's just another game of Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah. We're all there to have fun, all there to enjoy ourselves. Yes, there is something on the line, but if you're not enjoying yourself along the way, then something's not right.
Luck is not always going to guarantee you the win. It will sometimes guarantee you 3 DD crows instead.
I mean, it had to be one of us, but we have got a little bit more of a story coming up in a little moment.
I mean, I'm the newcomer, so I'll bite the bullet for the team.
Yeah, I mean, to be DD crowed like that is a bit on the harsh side, but you
That's
know,
end my man's career.
yeah. Oh dear. So is there anything else you wanna discuss? If not, we'll move on to Adam.
I mean, not really. I think we're in a sort of good format. I mean, mine's a bit slow for the game. It slows the game down to a point where the person that's played it has sort of opportune chance. I think it's very healthy for the game. But besides that, I think we have a very good format for this sort of nationals.
Mm-hmm.
There are six or more decks really that could compete. So we've seen that by the standings, and it's been a nice time to be in sort of playing the meta.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Right. So next of all, we've got Adam. Adam,
Hello.
introduce yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Adam. Been playing a couple of years now. This is my second nationals, so had a bit of experience playing sort of event before. Played some of the big European events as well, but this is probably. I think this year's nationals was more challenging than last year's. Last year's format was a lot more varied. You could go into the event playing a variety of decks, and you wouldn't be able to predict the top cut. Whereas this year, the meta sort of shaped that you can only play 3 or 4 decks well that will then make top cut, which is a bit of a shame.
Okay.
But it is what it is.
Okay. So we'll go into and we'll ask, what did you play?
So this weekend I played Orcus as well.
Okay.
I played a different deck to Rye. We had in our card journey, we did have a long discussion about the differences in between our decks, and there were certain points where I think there are certain engines I should have played maybe over others. So, for instance, I wasn't playing the Sky Striker package, and I think looking back at it over the back of the weekend, if I were to play Orcus again, I would have put the Sky Striker package in.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of times where I would open the connector and go with that play, and then you get ashed or veilered on the connector, and then you're stuck, and then you give your opponent more opportunities then to essentially just crack your board open massively and just go for game.
Right. Okay.
And that's sort of what annoyed me about my deck this weekend. I think I've been playing one deck for like most of this format, and I've picked up a deck in the past sort of last month, and I've been playing that consistently, and I felt relatively confident with it, took it, and then I actually now sort of regret doing that.
Okay. Yeah.
So it is what it is, but I think that's one of the things I've learned now is just stick to something maybe.
Yeah. So I'm guessing your advice there is stick to what you know, stick to what you're good at, and go with that.
100%.
Okay. Fair.
Especially if you're quite new to the game. If you've been playing one thing, and then everyone's telling you, "Oh no, this deck's really good," just still stick with what you know, because you're going to do better. You probably end up doing better with it.
Yeah. You know your interactions at that point, don't you? So
yeah.
Okay, right. So similar questions as to before. Highlight of the weekend?
For highlight of the weekend, probably have to go with day 2 and playing against Penguins.
So you're the reason.
So day 2, round 1, throughout day 1, there were these rumors going around the building saying, "Oh, someone's X1 playing Penguins. If they get this match, then if they win this next match, then they're definitely going on to stream, etc., etc." But obviously, I didn't play them around 5 for them to then not go on stream. But then I then had to play them day 2, and for a deck that's not a meta contending deck, the way it was built was quite clever, and it was just quite a nice highlight to see about how that was played.
Okay.
Is that the fact that you can go into a major event like a national playing a completely strange but funky deck, you can actually do really well. And that just sort of made my weekend a little bit. Obviously, spending time with the team as well was great, but that just sort of gave me some hope for the game because the format is so solidified now. It's a bit like, oh,
Hmm. So it's going from nationals. This is, you can see any kind of decks, but I mean, you're going to see the top meta decks either way. But there is always the rogue element. Yeah.
oh, always. I think that's the more entertaining thing is when you see when you play the rogue element deck, the rogue decks, and it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that was going to be there. I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, but like penguins is something you would never think about. That's like the most strangest deck you could ever come across.
Okay. So we've got your highs. What was your lows?
I think just my overall performance for the weekend, maybe.
Okay.
Kind of. I've done a lot of nationals. I've done a lot of events this season.
Yeah.
And I do kind of wish I hadn't have gone X5 in the end. I would have liked to have maybe done a lot better.
Yeah.
I think maybe that was just down to, I left my deck choice right to the last minute. I've been testing the Orcus deck for quite a while, since prior to Dusseldorf, for instance. And I was trying to fit, and then once obviously we got all the new support in Dane.
So Dinger soon.
Yeah, so Dane, Crescendo, all that. I've been trying to play around with it, but it's just, I think what I've taken from this event is I'll probably go back to something that I've been playing previously, the Euros. There's a couple of lists that I want to try, so over the next couple of weeks, probably test that.
Okay.
Get the deck solidified to then play at the Euros and hopefully do well.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next question, I guess. We've had your highs, your lows. What we want to know was your 200 IQ play.
I wouldn't say it's a 200 IQ play. It's probably more of a minus 200 IQ play.
Okay.
Round one, game one, I open, for those of you who know the Orcus deck, once you make Mermaid, you generally summon the Orcus Nightmare from deck. I managed to pay cost with the Orcus Nightmare and not realize I had the other Orcus Nightmare engraved, which then meant I didn't have proper interaction. And yeah, that was probably my minus 200 point IQ for the day, for the weekend.
Yikes. Okay, so you had both in
Got
hand.
led to a couple of things happening, and I lost that game. I lost that match because I misplayed massively game two, and my opponent managed to OTK me. But weirdly enough, that was another Orcus deck with a different matchup. It had the DDD engine in it, which was quite funky.
Okay.
Something that could be looked at in the future. So there are some funky decks out there.
Fair. Is there anything else you want to add? And if not, we'll move on to our next one.
No. Just keep an eye out for us at your next regionals or Euros. Come say hello.
Yeah.
Happy to talk to you guys.
We're all approachable guys. We chat. We're there to have a laugh ourselves. So come and see us. So speaking of which, my last person to switch across to is Martin of Team Hobby Vault. Hello, Martin.
Hello.
How you doing, dude?
Living the dream, as always.
I'm the dream as always. Okay, so we'll go through some of the questions with yourself. You were kind of in and out of chat there, but that's all good. We've got you back, which is the main thing. So first question, what did you play?
This year I was on Danger Thunder Dragon.
Okay, and how did it treat you?
I mean, in terms of like win to loss ratio, it was middle ground, so I lost as many as I won. Not as good as I wanted, but I just enjoy the deck anyway. I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Made sense to continue with a deck that I've been playing for a while rather than jumping back to something old or playing something completely new altogether.
No, I feel that. So I'll lead in with the question this time of so overall impression of the event.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, they where they were expecting it to hit capacity. They were prepared.
The capacity was set to 880 or something, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah. So when we had less than 700 people, they were over prepared, so it all ran really well. Everything was already set up and ready to go. So the day ran really smooth. There's some nationals I've been to where it's ended really late. So like in comparison to this year, it ran really well and ended at a good point in the day where you could go away and eat food and still enjoy the evening.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. So I mean that directly leads into, so what was the highlight of your weekend?
I mean, for me, it's just about hanging out with everybody.
Yeah.
You see people you don't see for a long time. I mean, I'm well known in the trading group, so meeting a lot with those people as well. Playing against some of them. But for the most part, it's more like just hanging out with all you guys as part of the team, and just beginning our journey as a team as well.
Yeah. I mean, this was the first big venture out since relaunch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, and may let it continue. So my next question: low point of the weekend. You got to take the good with the bad sometimes. So what was yours?
Sorry, say that again.
What was your low point of the weekend?
I think that was probably against the salad player that was trying to cheat me with a minute of a round left to go. So we're in
Okay.
game 3, so by this point he clearly knows what Thunder Dragon Hawk does, and then looks at the clock, sees a minute, and then goes, "Can I read that Thunder Dragon Hawk you've just added?" And I was like, "Okay, but you know what it does?" And he was like, "Oh, I want to know what it does when it's banished." And I said, "Why does that matter? It's in my hand. I can't banish it from hand." And he still continued to read it, and then by the time he was finished reading,
Yeah.
it was time on the round, and I was in a mood by then.
Okay. So that kind of put you on the tilt slightly, shall we say?
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm more than happy to take my fair share of losses as I do.
Yeah.
It was more the way that I'd lost. I don't normally get annoyed at Yu-Gi-Oh, and if I lose, but that sort of annoyed me, where people trying to cheat the system,
Yeah.
which is why I said to loads of people, like, maybe they just shouldn't show the clock, and then there'd be no need for that.
Yeah, just have call outs. There's 10 minutes left of the round. There's, but we'll see how that goes.
I don't think it even needs that. I think it just needs like start of the round, and then your round plays on, and then just time on the round. Like,
Yeah.
no one's searching for that
Hmm.
thing to make sure they win.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Okay, so that was rather unfortunate with that. So what is your best advice to players for their first national event? I mean, you've attended quite a few now.
yeah, so I've
this is our
probably got
second
about
now.
I've got like 7 or 8 years experience of Nats. I've gone on my own. I've gone
Mhm.
with groups of players. I've gone with just like a couple of people.
Yeah.
I'd always try and encourage like you to go as a group.
Mhm.
Probably A, that cuts costs down. B, you're not left on your own entirely, sort of like in the evenings and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd say you need to test. You need to prepare yourself. You need to prepare yourself for like some stuff you don't think you're gonna come against. Like, there were decks that I completely forgot about and was like, "Oh yeah, this is still like relevant."
Okay.
And ran into them and I might have won or lost, but I wasn't really preparing for it because like we were all playing like relatively the same decks. Like, 2 of us were on Warcross, 2 of us were on Danger Thunder and Draco, and then like sort of anything else that popped out, you were kind of like, "Oh yeah, that's still part of the meta."
Yeah.
So like, yeah, testing. I'd probably say sleep. Sleep's probably quite important. Otherwise, you feel kind of lazy in the morning.
Yeah.
You'll probably have some people tell you like what you eat, but I don't believe that. Just eat what the hell you want and enjoy it, rather than thinking, "Oh,
Yeah.
I need to have a salad." I mean, I'm not going to eat peanuts all day long just to make sure I'm wide awake and water. I mean,
I
you know
mean,
what I mean?
there's a very influential player within the Bristol scene that has the ruling of no starch or
Shout out to no
stodge.
starch.
Yeah. I think we broke that rule in the first 5 minutes of arriving in the venue. But there we go.
I think you just need to be apart from myself when I got a bit annoyed, just be positive. I'm always quite cheerful and loud and whatnot at events, and I mean, whenever I'm trying to get someone's attention, you'll probably hear me shout "Yoo-hoo" from across the room. But I mean, at the end of the day, if I'm going to be shouting "Yoo-hoo," there's probably about 30 people around me that are going to be laughing. So
Yeah, and people are
just
enjoying it at that point,
you just need to not take it too seriously. Because I think at the end of the day, although it's a game you're trying to win,
Yeah.
you're not playing for like thousands and thousands of pounds worth of money. I know the prizes are pretty cool, but
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
you
just
at the end of the
just
day,
enjoy
your
the day.
entry was only what £20, and
Yeah.
you're only going to go if you're going there to enjoy yourself. You know.
Like, don't get me wrong, I have the mentality of I want to win, but
Oh, yeah.
like I also have the reality check of I'm probably not going to win because there are people that are competently better at the game than I am.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I probably lost against myself a couple of times by forgetting things. You know, there is that pressure that you can put on yourself that makes you forget things and stuff like that.
Yeah. Fair. So yeah, I think that's the questions for everyone.
Well, what about
Well,
yourself?
See, I thought I was going to get away with it.
Can't miss out on you, mate. So, what were you playing then, Mark? Introduce yourself.
So I'm Mark. I'm one of the Bristol roster of Team Hobby Vault. I myself was playing Danger Thunder, but I was playing it slightly different.
Had a bit of a funkier build from what I could see.
Yeah, so I
The wrong
decided.
build.
Wrong build.
Wrong
But
build.
we'll see.
So there's the common use of Sekka's Light in Danger Thunder at the moment. I agree, it's draw 2 and it's banished to fix your hand. I have had nothing but issues with Sekka's Light ever since it came out, being that I always drew a Sekka's Light off of Sekka's Light. So
Right, okay, that's just bad luck on your part.
it's just bad luck on my part, but I wasn't up for continuing it. So I
Not
went
shuffling correctly.
Well, yeah, you know. So I decided to go with triple allures,
Right.
which then opened it up so that I could also use twin twisters in the main. In the main,
Okay.
because if my thoughts were, if I'm going to play against Orcust or Sky Striker, I want something to say goodbye either to multi-roll or the double fog blade that they've set.
Fair enough. I can understand that. I mean, obviously, with the laws as well, it allows you to banish the Thunder Dragon Darks or the Roars as well. It allows for further plays, continuation.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many times that I would alert, I either had the roar in hand or the roar was about to go off of it, which meant my access to the Saryuja was just
That much easier.
that much easier. I mean, it meant that the Ash came down sooner, which meant that the LP was free later on as well. So I had some different kind of interactions with it than what would have been, say, the normal.
Okay.
What else was it? In the main as well was Chaos Hunter.
Okay. I mean, I was citing that myself just because I thought it was going to be okay in the side. But I mean, how come you decided to make it?
So the reason I went for it was because of the banishing effect. So the effect that your opponent cannot banish cards, monsters, that sort of thing. The thing that really triggered it for me wanting to play it was the fact that you had to discard a card to be able to achieve this.
Your graveyard, put your lights and darks in there.
Put my lights and darks in there. I mean, if it was a danger, added bonus because, hey, I've just plussed off of it.
Dangers.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my thoughts on that one. So that was Ace. So yeah, kind of like very much a different build.
So I can't do nothing about that.
That's all right. I'm going into the SOP story in a minute anyway.
Set the mood, aren't we? So.
Sorry. Yeah. Set the mood.
Set the mood for it.
So going.
What was your highlight for the weekend?
So highlight for the weekend was actually getting to play and doing better than I've done in previous years.
It's always helpful.
Yeah.
Is that your first Nats, or is
so
that...
this is my
It was helped for 2 no-shows, right?
Yeah, big oof. So this was my second nationals. Previous one I came 334th or something on those sorts of lines. That was playing Invoked ABC in pure Sky Striker format. So yeah, I was lucky to get what I got.
And I mean, are we right in assuming that you came highest of all the hobby vault?
So from this event,
I think you were the highest, weren't you?
I was
no, Chris was the highest.
244th place out of the 695.
Okay.
I had 5 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw.
Mm-hmm.
2 of which, one was one day my opponent dropped. And then on day 3, my second round of the day, my opponent dropped as well.
Okay.
I saw him promptly get into the queue for the giant card.
So you're on
tournament.
the other spectrum of luck that day, then.
I was. I got some lucky pulls at that one. I know that one of the players, he later showed up on, or he had shown up on stream. I found out that night, was playing Salomon Great, and I'd had a not very good day against Salomon Great so far. So that was kind of a little bit of a savior, I guess. The low point of the weekend, I gotta think really. It was losing to my deck before I started doing regionals this season. So round 1, I took a loss to Trickstar.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you were playing that for quite some time beforehand, before you decided to pick up Danger Thunder.
Yeah. So I was rolling the game the whole time, and then all of a sudden it flipped up on over me, and that was first match lost. Won the second match, and then the third last match, that was it. Burn for time. So
Okay.
is what it is. Is what it is.
And what about your big brain play of the weekend?
Big brain play of the weekend.
Big brain.
So this one will make you proud, Rai.
It involves Saryuja.
It does involve Saryuja. So not only had I had overfilled my board with the Guard Dragon combo. So
Okay.
I had LP Pisty and Agripane. I, by means of adding to hand and that sort of thing, in my hand had 3 Legionnaire and 1 Diabolus.
Oof.
Ooh.
Damn. Okay.
So I specialed a Legionnaire, spun back a card out of my opponent's hand, then proceeded to make a second Saryuja.
Oh.
Right.
Used the special summon of the Saryuja to have the Diabolus on field.
Yeah.
Overlaid for the I gotta think. Titanic Galaxy. Made the extra Legionnaire and then dropped into her Attic Seal so that I would be able to get my play off that way.
So it's a pretty big board.
It was a pretty big board. It even meant that the Titanic Galaxy had a boost
Saryuja.
off of the Saryuja.
Nice.
So not only was the Colossus boosted, but the Titanic Galaxy was boosted for the redirect. It just fell into my lap, so to say.
But did you dodge the sphere mode? That's the real question.
I did not see a sphere mode all weekend. Not
Luckiest
a
game
single
Yeah,
one.
I didn't see Streamer all weekend either.
I mean, it was there in my side.
Yeah.
I had it sided.
No,
But no
did
one actually
you?
used it against me. So
I mean, I sided
Bonus?
it in once, and then the guy put a huge board out, and I was just like, do you know what? Let's just go to game 3. It's easier for me to try and win game 3 than it is to try and draw the sphere mode off mine.
Yeah.
Card,
mm.
clear the board, and then continue.
I will say that the card for the weekend for me, Epidemic Eradicator Virus.
Such a good card. Blows strikers straight out the.
It did exactly that. The Sky Striker player just scooped there and then as soon as it activated. Yeah.
Did you play against any sort of back row decks to get the traps out of the way, or was it literally just Sky Striker?
I only got the use of it on Sky Striker. I didn't see it in time for. Well, what was the other player? I did put it in for Salomon Great.
Okay. That's an
Because
interesting choice.
it was the problem I had was that I was going first. I have the means to make Sonophon Sky Prison to kind of stop them doing things.
Yes, yeah. That was a cheeky little ranked 8 tech that you chose as well.
Yeah. The issue I had was if he roared with the hand for what I was going into the game with, he could have potentially stopped me. So I wanted something to say, no, behave.
Fair. Yeah.
And but it didn't show. Again, Salomon Great, I took the loss. I tried all that I could. Silly losses, but it is what it is.
I mean,
Yeah.
I only had one really good play all weekend, and that was being stopped mid combo and staring at Saryuja with it pointing to Diabolus. That's on 33. And thinking I can only have like a Levianeer to get over this to pop them away. But then because I got stopped, I was like running into my dangers to draw. Missed the Levianeer, but managed to get into Barload and steal the Diabolus and
Oh,
kill the Saryuja.
Nice, nice.
But that was like the best thing I did all weekend, probably.
I do like a good Borreload still. Or sorry, Borreload. Yeah, Borreload Dragon.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Borreload.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
Barload.
I do like a good Borreload still. It does come
But
off
like
quite nicely.
like Mark was saying, his card for him is Eradicator. Mine was probably Sloth.
Sloth, yes.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
afraid Sloth. Yeah. I mean, I went for the Goliath, but that was because I didn't have time to source a Sloth at the time, and then found out where I had one.
I mean, there was one chilling in my binder. One
I
time.
know, but actually, there was a Sloth. It was fine. It was all good.
Yeah, sorry.
It did what it had
I mean,
to.
as long as
that
it did
weekend.
the
Yeah,
job, then
I
that's
think-
fine.
The thing is with Sloth is it's top first decks, but it's also it's not ever a dead draw because if you danger off, you just summon it and they're
You can
just
just summon
staring
it.
at like, oh.
Similar to
Like,
how we were
I
doing
have
with
to
the
out
Vanity's
this before I can
Fiend.
do
and
anything, and I found against Orc Crush they really struggled if they just couldn't get into anything.
things.
No,
I think
'cause
I think the worst board I put up was in terms of like not having a favorable hand but having an okay hand was like managing to Hawk into Thunder Dragon Roar, get Colossus out, do some danger stuff, and then summon Sloth so they couldn't add either.
Yeah.
Okay, lastly, Mark, any advice for players?
So I say this to everyone: you're battling yourself throughout an event. You need to stay hydrated. You need to stay fed. You need to almost eliminate anything that's you from the situation, other than the deck you're playing, the way you know to play it. Make yourself as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
Don't turn up in like suit and tie and all that sort of thing. Leave that to the commentators. That's what they're there for. Hoodie,
They're the pretty
jeans,
ones.
My suit
reverse
doesn't fit anyway.
cat, all that sort of thing. Be comfortable, have fun, and one big one. If you're ever in doubt, even if it's the littlest thing, you're surrounded by people who A, know how to play the game, or B, there's a judge not less than 2 seconds away.
Yeah.
They themselves love the game. They know the interactions. The judges that I saw from the weekend, they were prompt, they were professional, they were extremely knowledgeable.
Mm.
They are there to help you guys out. So if you're
found
in
it
doubt,
more-
call a judge, I guess.
Yeah, me personally, I found it more in day 2 that they were walking around a lot more. Day 1, obviously, it was a lot busier, so
Yeah.
they couldn't get everywhere all the time. But day 2, there was a lot less people because the amount of people that dropped from day 1, there was a lot more judges like visible that they were walking around, make sure that everyone was playing. Like it was during my round 9 against the dinosaur player that he was taking way too long to search up a fossil dig. He did actually end up getting a penalty. I didn't call the judge over. The judge just ruled that, yeah, you're taking way too long. You can have a penalty for that.
Yeah. No.
Which is unfortunate because I completely, in my opinion, he was losing, so I didn't mind him taking too long. But
I mean, and that's another thing as well. Don't see penalties as a negative.
No.
They're there as reminders. So you need your deck. You need to be doing this a little bit quicker. There you go. If you do, if
Yeah.
it does happen again, then the judges can
That's your
escalate
fault.
that. That's your fault. But it's pick up your pace a little bit, and that might just be the boost that you need. You never know.
yeah. So was there anything else you wanted to talk about, Mark? Or
I think that was it for me. I mean, I had a very good weekend. It was surrounded by friends. We had good times. We had lows. I learned that to chill out, that you needed to listen to a little bit of Tay-Tay at the end.
It's a pro tip. Find your guilty pleasure and listen to
Tay-Tay
it.
was the savior of the weekend.
Tay-Tay was the savior of the weekend. I mean, we might release some behind the scenes of people singing along to their favorite songs as we go. We won't go too far into
I have
that
some
as we
sneaky
are.
snapshots as well.
Yeah. So I guess the next thing I want to kind of cover is our intent going forward. Now, we've kind of got the mission statement up on the Facebook page, and it's been covered when we've been discussing with people as well. We're very much a team that want to get out there and explore the regional scene, the national scene, even the European scene, YCSs, that sort of thing. But our predominant mission is so that people can enjoy the game.
In our local community.
You'll see content in the future from all of us in variety of fashion, be it videos, pictures. Instagram is on the way as well. But engage. We're here to engage with you guys. We can have a laugh. We can chat. We can do whatever.
If you feel really low, we'll always let you rib Adam. He takes it on the chin really well.
Punch bag of the weekend. Pro tip:
That is an important part of the weekend.
always get a stress relief for your weekend.
Took it like a champ. Well done, Adam.
But
We're
you
being
know,
legit.
we're here to further the community and the game, and that's what we're looking to do.
We're here for you, and we're here for us.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And to top regionals.
And to top regionals. Speaking of which, our event schedule going forward. I have a couple of events noted down. Most importantly, there should be 4 of us attending Euros 2019.
Yes.
Woo!
So you may see us there. Look out for the Hobby Vault sign or our play mats, and then you'll know who you're facing up against.
Adam, you know Adam anyway.
The word on the grapevine is YCS London.
Yep, I think we're all sort of getting ready for that.
Yeah,
I would love to attend.
There'll be a ban list before then, so you might see some deck shake-ups, maybe some deck content.
Mm-hmm.
Probably do a discussion video based on how we feel change the meta, maybe. How we feel it's going to change what decks are played, and etc.
Yeah, we all know that Cubic will come out on top on the next ban list, but there we go.
Oh, of course, yes. Yeah.
You
Followed by Vanilla Beatdown.
Yes, indeed.
I know.
So there's potential of us, maybe 1 or 2 members being at YCS Ghent. After that, we'll be looking at the new regional season, so 2019-2020.
Yes.
None of those events are actually announced yet, but it's without a doubt that we'll be around playing in variety of situations.
And ready to hand you that Swift 2-0.
Don't forget, though, because we will also be hosting our own regional.
Yeah,
This is true.
This is true. So
I are very own Martin here.
those who are not familiar, Martin is actually the TO for the Hobby Vault, based out of Whirl at the campus, running tournaments every Sunday, starting from 10 o'clock through till about 4 o'clock, usually finishing.
Round about the time.
Full OTS support. It's a variety of players. Most people are there to have fun, and yeah. So check it out.
Except
See
me
what you
there
think.
for that Swift XO.
But there we go.
Alright.
So I think that's it for this one. We will try and have some more content coming out soon as well. But in the meantime, this is Mark signing out. Guys, any messages for everyone else?
Always make Saryuja.
Live the dream.
Live the
If in
dream.
doubt.
Help it
Alright.
as hard as you can.
So take it steady, guys. Share some love, like, subscribe, and see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.